Have you ever looked back and realized something had already started changing before you even noticed it? I always thought retirement would begin on one specific day, my last day of work. I'd close the office door one last time, drive home, wake up in the morning, and that would be the beginning of my second act. But this week I realized something. I don't think my second act is waiting for that day. I think it's already begun. Not with one big moment, but through 100 little moments that quietly changed me before I even realized they were happening. Hi, I'm Glenda, and welcome back to Second Act Studio. If you're new here, I'm documenting my journey towards retirement in real time. Not because I have everything figured out, because if you've been watching, you know I don't. And because I have a feeling a lot of us are asking the same questions as we move into a new chapter of life. If you've been here for a while, thank you. One of my favorite parts of this journey has become reading your comments every morning. You make me think about things I might have missed. And more than once, you've inspired the next video. So grab your coffee and let's talk for a few minutes. For months now, I have been counting down 30 days, 29, 28, and now 23. I've been looking at a date on the calendar as if that's when everything is going to change. But this week I started noticing something. Every morning before I leave for work, my routine looks completely different than it did just a few months ago. I make my coffee. I open my YouTube studio. I read your comments. And a lot of times I smile. Sometimes I stop and think for a while because one of you shared something that really stays with me. And then I start thinking about what I'm going to film that day. 6 months ago, none of that even existed. It wasn't a Second Act Studio. There wasn't this community. And honestly, there wasn't even this version of me. It's funny how we wait for life-changing moments. We think change arrives all at once. A retirement, a birthday, a move, a new job. But I don't think that's how it really happens. I think life changes us quietly, one morning at a time, one conversation at a time, one decision at a time. And lately, I've noticed that I slow down more. I notice the hummingbirds in my garden. I spend a few extra minutes outside before leaving for work. I catch myself thinking about ideas instead of deadlines. And instead of counting the hours until the weekend, I'm imagining what life might look like after July 31st. And none of those things happened overnight. They've been happening little by little. And I almost missed them. One of you asked me a question this week that I really haven't stopped thinking about. I was asked, what does purpose look like without a job title? I made a short about it because that question kind of stayed with me. But then I realized maybe purpose isn't something waiting for us after retirement. Maybe purpose starts showing up the moment we begin making room for it. Another viewer said something that I absolutely loved. He described retirement as jumping off the train. And I smiled when I read that because it painted such a vivid picture. For decades, we've all been riding that same train, haven't we? The schedules, the deadlines, the meetings, routines. Maybe retirement isn't. Maybe retirement isn't about reaching the end of the line. Maybe it's choosing to step off and discover what life feels like at a different pace. I used to believe retirement was an ending. Now I think it's more of an unfolding. It doesn't begin the day you stop working. It begins the day you start paying attention to what makes you come alive. And for me, that's been through these conversations, creating videos, writing, walking through my garden with my cup of coffee, listening to the birds instead of rushing to my next appointment. Those are small little moments, but together, they're becoming a life. And that's when it hit me. Maybe I have been waiting for permission to begin, when all along, I already had. So if you're somewhere in the middle of a transition, maybe it's retirement, maybe it's an empty nest, maybe you're thinking about a career change, or maybe you're simply wondering, what's next? I want to leave you with this thought. Don't spend so much time watching the calendar that you miss the quiet ways that your life is already changing. Your next chapter may have already started, and you just haven't noticed it yet. Thank you for spending a little time with me today. And if this conversation resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and join me. I'm sharing these final weeks before retirement exactly as they're happening. One story, one conversation, and one cup of coffee at a time. I'll see you Sunday, and have a wonderful day.